Dane Cook is with us this morning here at Q1043. An incredible career. 2 comedy albums so far with a third on the way. The second comedy album, double platinum. Even though a movie was released that didn't do particularly well, Dane Cook's performance was critically praised by people from coast to coast. Tourgasm on HBO. I mean, everybody talks about the guy. Everybody loves him. But now and forevermore, even with all of those accomplishments, even with 2 shows at Madison Square Garden, he will henceforth, forever and always be known as the There's Only One October guy.
Yes, yeah. MLB approached me, and I was so excited to be a part of that ad campaign. I thought it was really kind of innovative the way they wanted to put it together with, the clips actually happening day to day, and you could see the evolution, even, my hair's growing and how I looked as the season went on. But certainly they aired those spots quite a few times. I would flush my toilet and it would tell me there's only one October.
Well, I mean, it was just incredible, and for people, and, for the legions of Law and Order fans around the world who would be watching on TNT,
sure,
watching
like
the Law and Order marathons.
Nonstop.
There you would be. It seemed like every 40 seconds.
It was
incredible exposure, and they actually paid you for it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. When they approached me, it was really simple. It was not about a financial opportunity at all. The only thing that I wanted, I said, my dad was huge into baseball. My dad was in '52. The Boston Braves were actually scouting my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He played ball. Huh. He did broadcasting for several years. A lot of games and stuff. And we were there in '04 together in St. Louis when the Red Sox won the World Series and broke the curse. And I said, I want to do these spots. I love the idea of touting these guys and really showing the athleticism. The only thing I want are the 2 seats that me and my dad sat in. If you could get those for me, I don't care about anything else. That's basically what it was all for. So those spots were actually an homage to my pop.
Well, as a baseball fan, I mean, to become the voice and face of Major League Baseball for a season, as you know, in October, I can't even imagine how
it was a true privilege. Yeah,
that would be. And of course, right now our friends can't see you, but you're wearing your world champion Boston Red Sox cap.
I was there. I went down. I was partaking in the celebration down in Colorado. And really happy those guys did a fantastic job. Unbelievable lineup with that team. And the bullpen, everybody just really stepped up.
But is it true that I heard that you were wearing a Yankee hat? You?
That is true. Actually,
Rudy, you.
No. Here's what happened. Somebody brought this up recently. After 9/11 happened, I said, you know what? I'm going to wear a Yankees hat. I'm rooting for New York. I really want that city to have anything and everything it can to kind of give it some incentives. So I think a lot of Sox fans at that point put the rivalry aside for a minute, and for the good of baseball, wanted to see those guys come through. So yes, I will not deny the fact that Yankees hat was once sitting right here.
A warm and fuzzy Dane Cook. Who would have thought?
I know.
Well, especially when you hear him talking about the best ways to break up with a woman.
Oh, well, you are vicious.
You don't think of warm and fuzzy.
No.
Sure, no. The
effective, yes. No. Effective, yes. Warm and fuzzy, no.
Touche. Yeah, it's my material runs the gamut. I always wanted to be a performer that could kind of touch a bunch of bases. People would say, your humor is very random. But I grew up in a household. I have 5 sisters. I have 1 brother. And every kind of humor existed in my household. Irreverent and wry and vulgar and sweet and silly and corny. And I became, kind of a makeup of all these things. I was a fan of the art of stand-up comedy, but I also realized that I'd love to be able to be a performer that could kind of take from a little bit of all styles of comedy, and that's what I try to do.
Well, it was pretty gutsy to step into a dramatic role in Mr. Brooks.
I love that movie.
People who've seen it loved it.
And you were incredible.
And you did receive very good notices. That must have been very gratifying. I mean, it's a scary thing to move into a dramatic role in a high-profile film without having, a lot of experience in that realm.
With Kevin Costner, no less, as the serial killer.
It's gutsy for a young performer.
I was very fortunate. William Hurt, again, a big fan of his work, and Demi Moore. I felt like it was a kind of a crash course in training, to get in there and go toe-to-toe and they were very trusting, and of course, had a lot of value in what I wanted to bring for that role. So it was a collaborative effort, and I'm really proud of the work that I did there.
We're with Dane Cook this morning here at Q1043. On November 13th, the third album will be released on Comedy Central Records, Rough Around the Edges, live from Madison Square Garden. And speaking of live from Madison Square Garden, 2 shows.
We added a second one, sure.
And we're not talking about the theater. We're talking about the arena.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden. It is a singular accomplishment for a comedian to sell out the Garden, but adding a second show?
You're a brave man.
That's pretty incredible.
No, he's in demand. I mean, you are the hottest comedian on tour today. You are.
I looked at, very early in my career, Steve Martin was a huge influence on me. And would listen to Wild and Crazy Guy. And, again, my older brother and sisters had...
Were you thinking about him when you did SNL?
I certainly was. I mean, again, just knowing his history and then guys who came through like Dice, who was really the last kind of guy to go out and do, I guess, an arena tour of this level. And, as the years have gone by, and especially the last couple with the success of Retaliation, I thought, you know what, I'd really like to kind of leave my mark, and if I can pull it off, do something spectacular and do the show in the round, similar to how the HBO special was, and bring the new material, but kind of announcing here and really letting the cat out of the bag. For the first time, I'm going against even my own usual routine, which is year to year I hit the reset switch. I have new material. But so many people say, I wish I heard this live, or I wish you did this. And for the fans and for these shows, I'm going to be doing everything from my repertoire. You're going to get brand new.
It's going to be the Dane Cook's Greatest Hits show.
It's going to be
from Madison Square Garden with new material, bonus new material,
a little of everything. It's going to be at least 90 minutes of just hopefully the best ab workout in one of the most spectacular comedy shows that you've seen. I can't wait to get out there.
Now, both shows are going to be on November 18th. Second show at 10:15 p.m.
Yes,
that's a lot of work in one night.
Sure. Yeah. No. It harkens back to the days when I was on the road and doing 3 or 4 shows a night at Improvs, and that was in a 7 or 8 show week. So this is what I do, and I live for these moments. I love getting out there and kind of challenging myself to do these shows.
Well, you had the experience early in your career when you would work at clubs who would make you bring a certain number of people who would spend money before they'd let you go on stage, right?
Sure.
That's how it works in those clubs.
They call them bringers.
Like you got to bring in 16 to 20 people, and if you do, then they let you go on.
Yeah, and I used to actually get paid from those shows in Chinese food. I remember it was bringer shows at these Chinese food restaurants that had open mics, and that's how I would get paid in poo-poo platters and things of that nature. So,
well, from there to the Garden, that's on November 18th, and the brand new third album.
Yes.
With the second album, double platinum. Comedy albums very rarely go double platinum anymore.
True,
that's just amazing. The new album called Rough Around the Edges, live from Madison Square Garden. You won't have any of your hometown Boston people upset that you didn't release a Boston performance.
Well, people know that my heart is in Boston, which is why I'll be going back and doing 2 shows as well at the TD Bank North Garden. So, but New York City really shaped me. I left Boston after 4.5 years of doing comedy and thought I knew it all, and then came to New York, and it really kicked my butt and kind of trimmed the fat. So this is really my thank you for all those years where I would walk back from the Village and walk by the Garden and think, if I ever had that chance